Suara saya kelas?
Boleh, Doktor.
Boleh Okay.
Boleh, Doktor.
Okay, so dekat your screen ni ada file PDF file ada dua betul ke? Satu soalan tutorial 4, another one is answer tutorial 4.
Betul, betul.
Betul Ada dua slide. Okay, today kita nak discuss tutorial 4 ni berkaitan dengan cash flow. So kita ada dua soalan, two question. Actually the first question ni adalah betul-betul last semester last semester punya question. Terima berhad ni. Yang question number 2 ni kalau tak silap saya last 2 semester. Tapi di nama company ni diubah. Tapi actually is last 2 semester. This one is betul-betul last semester. The first question. So today kita cuba go through soalan tutorial ni, last semester punya question ni. So kalau ada apa-apa soalan you boleh tanya. For cash flow ni dia ada banyak teknik. Yang saya gunakan, saya selalu gunakan saya guna tolak yang beginning balance minus dengan ending balance. Yang awal tolak yang akhir. Itu yang saya gunalah. Ada yang cara guna tolak akhir tolak awal. Ada yang guna T, account T. So it's up to you lah nak guna cara mana. Kalau the best way lah bila you dapat soalan ni, you tulis dekat maybe you boleh tulis dekat soalan ke atau dekat jawapan supaya you tak lupa. Sometimes kadang-kadang kita lupa. Example you tulis, kalau yang guna cara saya so you boleh write example soalan ni apa? Dia adalah tahun 2021 that means beginning is 20, ending is 21. So that means you boleh kata 2020 minus 21 equal to kalau 20 beginning tolak dengan ending, you dapat example, you dapat positif. Positif. You dapat positif. So kalau dapat positif mean apa? Kalau dalam case ni, kalau you ambil beginning minus ending, so kalau you dapat positif, that means it's a decrease. So kalau you dapat negatif, you dapat negatif. Bila you tolak tu semua maksudnya you masukkan formula tu, you tolak beginning tolak dengan ending and then plus apa semua tu. So if we get negative, so that means it become kita kata is a increase lah. Ini kalau you guna awal tolak akhir, beginning minus with the ending. So kalau you guna ending tolak beginning, so dia akan reverse lah. So kalau positif dia akan jadi increase, kalau negatif dia akan jadi decrease. So the best way you write dekat mana-mana, dekat soalan ke, supaya you boleh refer. Kalau bila you kira, sebab kita tak nak buat banyak sangat calculation. Kita nak minimize calculation. So itu cara dia lah. That means bila you dapat soalan tu, you tulis dulu. That means you have to memorize lah. Kalau you guna cara saya ni, so you make sure you memorize this. Beginning minus with ending, and then kalau dapat positif, bila you masuk tu calculation is positive, so that means you have to kita boleh mention that account is decrease. So kalau negatif, that means account tu adalah increase. Account tu tak kira lah whether it's asset, liability, equity ke apa ke. So dia increase atau dia decrease. Kalau dia positif, bila masuk calculation dia positif, that means decrease. Kalau masuk negatif, that means it's increase. Then bila dia increase, example, kalau dia increase, that means contohnya kalau asset increase is debit side. That means our cash is credit. Cash mesti dia double entry that means cash mesti credit. So bila cash credit, that means is outflow, cash outflow. So dalam you punya cash flow, so you akan buat outflow. Example outflow, kita akan buat bracket lah, negative Kalau inflow is a positive lah. Okay. Boleh kan kelas? Is it okay ya? Okay, sebelum kita go through tu, you buat macam tu lah. Okay. Okay ya kelas, boleh dengar suara saya? Okay ya? Okay. Okay, so kita start dengan first question ni. Okay. Terima Berhad is a public listed agriculture company. Okay. It summarized a consolidated financial statement for the year ended 31st March. So this is dia punya year ended adalah 31st March. Okay. Okay, and then apa dia bagi kat sini? Okay, your final nanti kita soalan tu dia akan tanya you indirect method. And so we actually cash flow we have two methods. One is indirect method, another one is direct method. And so soalan akan tanya you indirect method. Kalau you tengok past year pun sama. This one is last semester. So dia tanya you apa? Indirect method. Okay, using indirect method. Soalan ni sama je macam ni. Prepare cash flow, indirect method. Okay. Okay, tengok last two semester also same. Using indirect method. So this semester also same, indirect method. Okay. So jangan memorize the direct method tu. Okay, just memorize the indirect method. Make sure you familiar dengan dia punya format. Because this final exam is not is a physical punya final exam. Okay, bukan online. So you tak boleh refer pada notes. So you have to memorize. No choice. Okay. Okay, siapa yang tak boleh memorize tu, make sure you guna flow. You memorize guna secara flow. Kan? Okay. Macam you hafal ataupun you kenal jalan. Kan? So you tahu jalan ni bila nampak simpang ada apa sesi minyak, okey masuk kanan. Macam tu. So you using the flow kalau you tak boleh hafal. Okay, siapa yang boleh memorize tu is okay. Just proceed. Okay. So make sure format tu kena memorize. Okay. Okay, so bila kita guna indirect method, so actually kita akan guna the first, kalau you tengok jawapan ni, the first tu, and this is the indirect method punya format. So the first tu kita akan ambil profit before tax. Kan? So that's mean you akan ambil profit before tax. Okay. So bila you go through tu, you dah boleh highlight. Kalau you ada highlighter, highlight profit before tax ni kita akan ambil. Okay. And then for profit before tax ni, okay, profit before tax ni is include non-cash item. And that means first thing you have dapat profit before tax, and then you have to exclude all the non-cash item. Okay. The best way you tengok dekat you punya income statement ni, so you cari apa yang non-cash item. So kat sini dah nampak dah gains on disposal of share, gains on disposal of subsidiary. This is a non-cash item. So you highlight. Nanti you masukkan terus dalam you punya cash flow. Okay, another one is apa? Okay, finance cost. Finance cost ni normally kita masukkan juga. Okay, kita just include, and then after that kalau tengok tak ada we don't have any payable, so kita masukkan balik. Terus kita exclude, and then kita include balik. Kalau tak ada payable lah. Okay, so the best way you include je. Okay, finance cost. Okay, and then apa lagi? Share result of joint venture. Okay, ini pun non-cash item. And then share of profit in associate also non-cash item. So that means first kali you akan buat, you tulis profit before tax, and then you include all these item. So you dah ada marks lah kat sini. Kan, semua masuk. Ada ni masuk 4 ni dulu. Okay. Boleh kan kelas? Jadi how you do? Okay. Format tu you masukkan profit before tax, and then you include. Okay. Ini kita go through lagi apa lagi? Okay, and then okay, this one kita tak masukkan. Walaupun this one is a non-cash item, tapi kita tak include. Sebab apa? Sebab kita calculation dia we start with before tax. So that means kita kena exclude yang sebelum ni. Yang selepas tu tak perlu. Kalau ada item yang after non-cash item selepas profit before tax ni, no need to include. Example this one, 3 million ni. And 3 million ni adalah non-cash item. But kita tak include dalam calculation kita. Okay, because dia di after the before tax ni. So we only calculate the sebelum tu. Before profit before tax. Boleh ya? Okay, so jangan confuse. Jangan ingat ini non-cash item pun you masukkan. Kalau you masuk ni salah. Okay, nanti you punya result ni akan salah. Okay, because kita start with profit before tax. So that means we have to exclude all these item. Yang bawah ni tak perlu. Okay. Boleh yang kelas? Is it okay? Okay, and then we proceed. Kita tengok lagi. Okay, so we have 2020 and 2021. So you have to decide. So you nak guna teknik apa? Okay, dalam saya akan guna awal tolak akhir, beginning minus with ending. So saya akan guna 20 minus 21. Okay, that's why saya macam ni 20 minus 21. Kalau positive, that means it's a decrease. Kalau negative, that means it's a increase. Okay. Okay. Okay, so kita tengok. Okay, so we have a non-current asset, and then we have a current asset. Okay, and then we also have equity and liabilities. Okay, equity. Okay, we have a non-current liability, and then we have a current liability. Okay, you have to understand. Kita dalam cash flow, we have three activities. So kalau you tengok dekat answer ni, we have a operating. So we have operating activities. Okay. And then we have investing activities. Okay. Another one, we have financing activities. Okay. Okay. So operating activities. So dia item dia adalah almost in the item income statement punya item, and also current asset and current liability. So all these item, current asset, current liability, and item in income statement, we include in operating activities. Okay. And then for investing activities, all the non-current asset. So all item on non-current asset we include in the investing. Okay. And then all equity and non-current liability we include in financing activities. Okay. So you have to understand, you kena faham konsep. Okay. Boleh? Okay. So now kita kita proceed pada additional information. Okay. Okay. Okay, kalau you tengok here, look additional information number 1. Depreciation has charged to administrative expenses amounting 10.5. Okay, and then 9.5 is property, plant equipment, and then balance is right of use asset. So that means depreciation ada two type of depreciation. One depreciation is for property. Property, plant equipment is 9,500. So that means the balance 1,000. Balance dia ada 1,000 kan sini. So balance 1,000, bukan 1,000 lah, 1 million actually. Okay. 1 million. So 1 million is for right of use asset. Okay, this 1 million. Okay. Okay. Sorry, dia tak boleh gerak pula. Okay. So okay. So okay, dalam this case kita nak masuk dekat mana? Activity apa kat sini? Kalau depreciation. So depreciation is related to apa? Income statement kan? Okay, income statement. So that means kita akan masukkan dia dalam operating. Okay. And then depreciation also relate dengan fixed asset. Okay. So that means bila dia relate dengan fixed asset, that means dia also akan include dalam investing. Mungkin kita boleh, kalau you nak confirm, you boleh tengok. Okay, dalam fixed asset property. So kalau you tengok property ni, beginning dia rendah daripada ending. That means kita ada purchase of asset. Sama juga dengan ni, ada purchase of asset. So kalau ada purchase of asset, that means kita akan calculate purchase of asset. Okay, that means this item 9.5 million dengan 1 million ni, dia akan include dalam dua. One is sorry yeah. Okay, one is for operating activities, another one is for investing activities. Okay, so you boleh tulis ini operating, investing. Okay, bila you buat operating nanti, so you masukkan dua ni, depreciation. Okay, you include depreciation. Okay, and then when you doing the investing, make sure you calculate these two, right of use asset dengan plant equipment. Okay, ataupun you boleh tulis lah, kalau you nak tulis, you boleh tulis kat sini. Okay, right of use asset and PPE. Okay, atau you just write here, right of use asset. Okay, sorry. right of use asset. Okay, and another one is PPE. Okay, so ada dua. So that's mean you have to do 2 item ada kat sini. Okay, 2 item and 2 activities. Okay. And then kita baca lagi, apa lagi dia tulis. Okay, boleh kelas? Any question? Ada soalan? Is it okay? Okay, okay. Okay, ni question boleh terus tanya. Okay, dah biasa kelas face to face, physical lah kita. Saya pun mula tak nampak you all ni. Tak tahu you dengar ke tak dengar. Okay, so make sure you bagi respond. Okay, so there is a impairment, loss of 500 for right of use asset record in the administration expenses. Okay, so that's mean ada apa kat sini? So kita ada impairment loss. So this is non-current asset. Kan, impairment loss ni adalah non-current asset. So that's mean you kena include because dia dalam administration expenses. That's why kita tak ada dalam income statement ni. Kan dia tak masuk. That's mean dalam income statement ni ada impairment loss. So impairment loss is one of the non-cash item. So you have to exclude. Okay, so that's mean kita akan masuk dalam operating. Okay. So kita akan masuk under operating. And then also kita akan masuk dalam right of use. Okay, investing. Okay. So nanti bila you nak calculate right of use, you kena gunakan, you have to include this 500. Okay, sebab dia adalah impairment. Okay. So that's mean you have to, so you colorkan lah right of use, ataupun you boleh tuliskan sini lagi lah. RUA ni, Okay. Boleh, Okay. So next kita ada apa? Impairment, impairment loss for goodwill was recognized in administration expenses. So kita ada satu lagi goodwill pula. So goodwill also a non impairment of goodwill ni. Dia adalah also non cash item. Okay. So this one is under operating. Okay. Okay, kalau you tengok kat sini, you boleh refer balik tengok dekat goodwill ni. Okay, kalau you look at the goodwill, so kita ada 12, so dia decrease kan. So dia decrease, so that's mean it's possible lah kita ada impairment loss kan, sebab dia impairment loss for goodwill sebab dia decrease. Okay, it's not increase. And then when you go through, you tengok lagi ada tak item goodwill. Okay, untuk include. But this one you have to include dalam operating lah. Okay, to calculate. Because ni dia tak bagi you figure. Okay, that's mean you have to calculate. Okay, so that's mean you have kena ambil goodwill, nanti you akan tolak sini and then you akan cari lagi ada tak item goodwill. Okay, so tapi for this why you just write O sini lah. Okay, so kita faham this one operating punya activities. Okay. Okay, and then we have apa lagi? Amortization of intangible asset. So ni also adalah non cash item. Okay, 3 million. Okay, so ni you just boleh include aja. Okay, tak ada masalah. Dia dah calculate for you kan. So you just write sini O je. Okay. Operating. Okay. Ataupun kalau you nak double check, you boleh tengok intangible. Intangible we have 3.6 kan. So dia punya so dia ada different ni So that's mean amortization ni you have to you kena buat investing tambah satu lagi sebab dia punya balance ni tak sama. Okay, dia tak dapat zero kan. Okay, minus 3.6 that's mean we still have balance 600 tapi ni ada 200. Okay, so that's mean ada relate dengan investing. So just tambah investing satu lagi. Okay. Okay, and then in December 2020, Terima Berhad sold one of its investing in associate value at 3.5 million for cash consideration, and the gains of disposal were recorded in other income. Okay. So ada Okay, this one is gains on disposal of associate. Okay, ada tak gains on disposal? Kita ada tadi apa? Gains on disposal of subsidiaries. Okay, that's mean gains on disposal of associate ni tak ada. Okay. Okay, so maksudnya apa? Maksudnya you kena masuk dalam operating, but this one is the include dalam others income. So that means this one is also non cash item. Okay, so masuk dalam operating and then also masuk dalam investing. Okay. So dalam investing nanti you akan ambil apa? Yang dia dah bagi ni, cash. Okay, cash consideration, kita receive cash ni. You guna yang ini. This one you include dalam investing. Okay, for operating you have to calculate. Okay. So dia cuma bagi you sini investment value is 3.5. Okay. So this one is dia punya associate value dia. Value punya associate dia 3.5. That's mean berapa dia punya gains? Kita jual dengan harga 4.5, we receive 4.5. The price is 3.5. That mean kita punya gains on disposal adalah 1 million. Okay. So ini boleh kira ni 1 million. Okay. 1 million. Okay. This one is for gains. Okay. So nanti gains ni akan masuk under operating. Sebagai dia ada sebagai non-cash item. Okay. Okay, next on 13 January 2021, Terima Berhad acquire 30% interest in DFE Berhad by cash amount 3.1 million. Okay. Okay, so they acquire. So this one is investing. So kita acquire. Okay, investing. Okay, normally you boleh ambil je figure dia. Okay, dia beli dengan cash 3.1 million. Okay. Tapi problem dia during the year had pay dividend to the shareholders. That means you have to calculate the dividend. Okay, so that means dia akan ada dua lah. Satu is 3.1. Okay, kita acquire. Okay, another one, dua-dua is dalam investing. That means you can mention that investing ni akan ada dua item. Okay, satu one item for the cash yang kita pay, okay, kita acquire. Another one kita akan receive dividend paid. Okay, that means you have to calculate the dividend for the associate. Okay, so we do it later nanti. Just they mean ada two item you akan include dalam investing. Okay. Okay, and then kita tengok in November 2020. Okay, kelas ada any questions? Sekarang ni okay ya? Boleh kelas? Okay. Okay, and then in November 2020, Terima Berhad dispose 80%. Okay, kalau you ingat lagi kita buat exercise, kebanyakan dia dispose 100%. Tapi kali ni soalan ni dia dispose 80%. Okay, so when they dispose 80%, that means we have to calculate for dia punya NCI. Okay, we have to do nanti dekat NCI, bila you calculate NCI nanti ada movement. Okay, so kat sini kita akan guna apa? So dia okay 80%. Okay, so you have to include the cash item. Okay, cash item. Okay, tapi bila you nak calculate cash item, make sure you have to minus dengan bank ataupun cash, bank atau cash lah. Okay, that mean kat sini kita akan ada dua. We have two item here. Okay, first kita akan include dalam investing. Okay, another one we have to include dalam finance. Okay, finance is for NCI. Okay, NCI nanti kita akan calculate. Okay, we have to calculate NCI using share price dia RM4.50 nanti. Okay, so that means here we have two item. Okay, kena kira nanti. Okay, for bank ni actually you just ambil cash item ni, you just ambil 26.8, you just minus dengan 4.2. So you akan dapat apa? 26.8 minus 4.2. So you get 22.6. Okay, so that means cash yang kita akan we receive cash nanti is okay, our received cash is 22,600 lah, ataupun 22.6 million kan. Okay, kelas boleh kan? And then kalau you look at the item, so we have a goodwill here kan. So that's mean bila you kira goodwill nanti, make sure you kena kalau ini dia ada, this one is dispose. Kalau dispose, that mean you have to minus. So bila dalam calculation you nanti, you have to minus. Sebab dispose. Okay. Kalau you guna awal tolak akhir lah. Okay. Kalau you guna akhir tolak awal, you have to tukar. You have to kalau this one minus, dispose ni you have to campur, add. Okay. Because we are using ending minus beginning. Tapi kalau you guna cara saya, beginning minus ending, so kalau dispose you just tolak. Okay. Kalau company, kalau kita acquire subsidiaries, you campur. Okay. Boleh kan? Okay, so kita dah kira tadi yang ni bank cash yang kita akan receive. So this one kita akan guna untuk calculate setiap item ni. Okay, so that means setiap ada item di financial position ni, make sure you also include item dalam ni apa dispose ni. Maksudnya all item tu you have to minus because dia dispose. Okay. And then apa? Next, biological asset comprise of produce growing of ataupun you nak kira ni siap-siap pun boleh so dia bagi you ringgit kan. So that's mean kalau you nak kira share capital is 10 million. So kalau 80%, kalau NCI berapa? So kalau our NCI is 20%. So NCI equal to 10,000 ni. Times dengan RM4, RM4.50 and times with 20%. So sepatutnya you akan dapat berapa? Ini you boleh kira je sebenarnya kan. 10,000 darab 4.5 400 kira you akan dapat 45 kan, 45 times 20%, 9,000 betul tak? So you kira calculator 9,000 betul tak? Saya just tungak saja. Betul? Plus, so kira calculator 10 million times 4.5 times 20%. Okay, betul lah. 9 million. 9 million. Okay. Bukan 9 million. This one is 10 million. 10 million. So this one jadi 9,000. Okay. Oh, 9 million. Betul lah. 9 million. Okay, bukan 9,000. 9 million. This one is 9 million. Okay. Okay, betul lah kelas. Is it okay? Kelas. Okay. Okay, so just you, it's up to you lah. Kira dulu, tak kira pun tak apa. Okay, ni just kita go through, kita just calculate. Okay. You guna cara yang you selesa. Okay, ni cara saya buat. Okay. Okay, so kita go through. Okay, biological asset comprise of produce growing on a beer plant, Okay, biological asset measure at fair value, less cost to sell. Any gains or loss arising from changes in the fair value, less cost to sell, recognized as in the profit and loss. If gain to use the others income account and loss using the expenses. So apa maksud dia? Actually ada satu lagi operating kat sini, non cash item ni. So ada satu lagi non cash item kat sini, operating. So dia masuk di bawah. Kalau profit dia gains, dia akan masuk under others income. Kalau loss dia akan masuk under expenses. Actually you boleh tengok, you boleh kira lah, cari biological asset. Mana biological asset ni? Okay, this one. Okay, you boleh cuba. Okay, kalau biological asset, okay, so actually dia increase. So dia increase. So that's mean apa? Dia increase. Kalau dia increase maksudnya apa? Before this is 12.4 million. So they increase to 33.4 million. Okay. So kalau you tengok ada item lagi tak pasal biological asset ni? Tak ada. So that's mean dia punya gains tu adalah banyak sebenarnya gains dia. 33.4 minus with 12.4. So kita akan dapat 21 million. Ada lagi tak item pasal biological asset? Tak ada. So that's mean dia punya gains tu adalah 21 million. 21 million. Jadi, so kalau you kira boleh dapat 21 million. Saya kira tadi 21 million. Okay, so this one kita akan masuk under operating sebagai gains, gains of as a gains. Okay, so gains 21 million. That means kita kena minus dalam income statement kita dah include. So kita have to this is not a cash item, so you have to exclude lah. So you have to minus 21 million. Okay, and then dia kata no disposal property plan during the year, and then dia berhad paid dividend. Okay, so dia ada bayar dividend. So ni you kena highlight. Okay, ni terima berhad bayar. Our parents bayar dividend. Okay, so that's mean you have to calculate. Bila kata bayar dividend, you have to calculate using the return earning nanti. Okay, tapi actually kita akan calculate nanti lah. We just highlight aja. Okay. Okay, so now we start to do cash flow. Okay, sebelum start ada any question tak yang you tak faham pasal soalan ni? Any question? Okay, kelas. Okay. Okay, so we start with our cash flow. So this is the answer lah. Okay, you pun dah dapat semua kan answer kan. Okay, so we start. Okay, format kena hafal. You have to memorize the format. Tak ada pilihan. Okay. So macam saya mention tadi, before first thing you start dengan operating ni. Dia punya format cash flow from operating activities. Okay, so you boleh underline benda ni lah. Boleh underline. Tak ada underline but okay, tak apa. Okay, you boleh underline. Okay, first you start dengan profit before tax. So ambil ni, profit before tax ni. Ambil ni dulu. Okay, and then lepas tu you reverse kan. Example here, this one is gain kan. Dia adalah gain, so kita include. So because this is not is a non-cash item, so bila non-cash item, that's mean you kena exclude. So bila exclude, you kena minus lah. Okay, so because tadi kita dah before this dalam income statement kita dah campur, so now you have to exclude it, you have to minus. So you just write gains on disposal of subsidiaries. Okay, you buat yang 4 ni dulu, yang ada ni dulu. Okay, yang you jangan ikut sangat jawapan ni. Jawapan ni dia campur. So the best way dalam exam you tulis profit before tax and then terus include this item. All these item, the 4 item ni masuk dulu. So you akan dapat marks lah. Before tax punya marks dah dapat, for 4 item ni punya marks pun you akan dapat. Okay, masukkan aja. Okay, cuba kita cari kat sini. Satu, gains on disposal of subsidiary 16 million. Okay, masuk yang pertama. Okay, tadi dia include kan, sebab dia gain. So bila exclude, you have to minus. Okay, and then we have a finance cost. Okay, so you keluarkan finance cost. Sorry, bukan sini. Okay, yang ini finance cost. Okay, 4 million. Okay, before this kita tolak kan, we minus the finance cost. So kita nak include balik, so we have to plus. Okay. And then apa lagi? Share of result of joint venture. So joint venture. Okay, so here we result adalah profit kan, 2 million. So here you have to minus. Okay, minus 2 million. Okay. Kalau sini positif, sini you pindahkan negatif. Sini negatif, sini pindah positif. Tentu je. Okay, then another one is share of profit in associate. Okay, so this one plus, so you have to minus. So you dah buat dah 4 ni. So you tulis after profit before tax, so masukkan 4 ni dulu. Okay, and then baru you cari yang lain. Okay, ini kira free marks kan, dapatkan free marks dulu. Okay, and then baru kita calculate. Jangan ikut cara ni. Ini dia buat malam-malam, dia bukan waktu exam. That's why dia boleh buat ikut suka dia. Okay. So you dalam exam, you kena ada flow dia. Okay, nak cepat. Okay. So dalam masa cepat, and then same thing, gains the marks. Okay. Boleh So masuk ini dulu. Okay. Okay, and then baru you start. Okay, saya dah mention kat you kan tadi. Operating ni, okay, untuk operating activities dia adalah item dalam income, current asset dengan current liability. Okay, so item dalam current asset and current liability. Okay, so before we go through this item, okay, so kita tengok dulu yang berkaitan dengan non cash item ni. So ada banyak bila kita go through tadi ada depreciation je, kita kira tadi ada dua. Satu ni ada dua depreciation. So you have to masuk dalam soalan ni macam dia banyak sangat non cash item dia. So you have to include satu-satu. Okay, so kita buat yang pertama ni dulu. Kita cari non cash item. Okay, so first our depreciation ada dua kat sini. Kita dah kira dah. Satu 9.5 for PPE. Another one is right of use asset 1 million. Okay. So you masukkan. Okay, pertama sekali depreciation for PPE. Okay, depreciation for PPE, okay, ni dah ada dalam soalan, 9.5. So, okay, and then we already calculate tadi dia total depreciation is 10.5. So 9.5 is for PPE. So right of use asset, balance je lah, 1 million lah. Okay. So depreciation for right of use asset, so 1 million. So ini you boleh buat calculation dia. Buat kurungan. Actually, kurungan ni, bracket ni you can use pencil. It's a working, we call it as a working. Tapi yang ada sini you have to write with your pen. Guna pen. For calculation ni, bracket ni, 10,000 minus 10.5 million ni minus 9.5, you can use your pencil. Okay, kalau salah, you boleh padam. Senang. Okay. So just 10.5 million minus 9.5 is 1 million. Jadi kita dah kira dah kat sini 1 million. Okay. So that's why I mention, kalau you tak nak kira pun tak apa. Because kat sini nanti you akan kira juga. Okay, just tulis saja ni. Cara roughly, then after that you akan calculate juga lah. Okay, boleh it's up to you. Okay, kalau nak kira pun dulu just masuk je. Okay, tapi make sure working ni kena ada ada pencil je. Okay, so you dah buat dua ni. Okay, so actually ini you boleh bila you dah buat, so ni you boleh, saya tak boleh buat tak boleh slash you cuba pangkah ni. Okay, settle. Okay, this one for operating dah settle. So kita ada investing nanti. Okay, so after kita dah go through operating, so when investing, so back to cari I balik. Okay, so O already settle. Okay. So now kita proceed dengan lagi cari non cash item lagi. So kita ada impairment loss 500,000 for right of use. So this one also adalah non cash item. So just masuk je impairment loss right of use asset. So you boleh cari kat sini impairment loss right of use asset 500. Okay, sama. Okay, so you slash O, settle. Okay. Okay, and then kita tengok apa lagi? Impairment, also non-cash item. Okay, tapi kat sini impairment goodwill ni dia tak bagi. So apa maksudnya? Means you have to calculate. So go back to the goodwill, cari item goodwill sini. Kan, kita ada goodwill. Okay. Okay, so kita punya item goodwill adalah 9,000, beginning 12,000, ending 9,000. Okay, so we are using the cara ini, this technique, beginning minus with ending. Okay, okay, so you just kat sini mana goodwill? Okay, goodwill impairment loss kan. Okay, okay, ini dia punya calculation. Okay, so kita punya calculation, okay, kita buat simple je. Kita cari marks dulu. Okay, target the marks first. Okay, you buat macam ni. Okay, you dah tahu kan? Okay, kita akan buat beginning minus with ending. So you first you buat goodwill impairment loss, and then you open bracket. So you cari dulu beginning berapa? 12 million. So you start dengan 12 million. Okay, and then minus ending. Okay, okay, beginning 12. Okay, ending 9. Okay, so that means you start here beginning and then minus ending. Okay. So kat sini you akan dah dapat 2 marks lah. You tulis ni je 12 tolak 9. Okay. Dia ada 2 marks lah. Okay, lepas tu baru you cari yang lain. Ada tak goodwill lagi? So everything apa saja kat sini you start dengan tu. Beginning, tolak ending. So kalau ada kalau this one is satu ni 1 marks, next mean you dah dapat 2 marks. So kita buat cepat tapi dalam masa sama kita gain marks. Okay? So jangan tunggu nak ambil. Kalau you nak cari 12, you nak cari lagi, you nak ikut cara ni kan, 12 tolak 2 dalam bawah ni semua lambat. Okay? So cari depan mata dulu. 12 tolak 9. Sebab kita dah set our ni. Bila we beginning tolak dengan ending, kalau dapat positif mean decrease. Tak kira apa pun dapat positif decrease. Kalau dapat negatif mean increase. Settle. So kita dah set kita punya macam tu. So that's why you tak kisah mana-mana terbalik pun tak apa. Maksud saya you tak perlu buat apa setengah dia akan buat beginning and then dia akan cari all the positive side. Kan? So kita tak nak macam tu. Kita buat beginning, ending. Semua you start dengan beginning, ending. So you akan dapat 2 marks ni. So 2 marks ni dah dapat. Okay, and then baru you cari apa maklumat dia lagi. Kalau you tengok goodwill ni ada satu je kat sini kan, goodwill. Kita dah go through tadi ada goodwill satu sini. Okay, so this goodwill is dispose. Kita dispose subsidiaries. Mana kalau dispose kita kena tolak. Kalau you using my technique ni, teknik saya ni, teknik yang saya guna ni, so that's mean you have to minus. Goodwill ni you have to minus. Okay, because dia adalah dispose. Kalau dia acquire, so you have to plus, campur. Okay. Boleh kan? So ni adalah dispose. So dispose that means you kena tolak. Okay, so you tolak. Okay, sorry. Ni so you tolak berapa tadi? 2.3 million. Okay, so 2.3 million. So you cuba kira dapat apa? 12 tolak 9 tolak 2 3. So you akan dapat 700 okay. Actually dia kat sini lah. Sorry, saya silap ni. Okay, and this one is refer to goodwill okay, bukan atas ni So you get 700. Okay. So you dapat jawapan dia 700. 700 okay, 700 is kalau you calculate, okay, you start kira ni 12 minus 9 and minus 2.3. So you will get 700. Okay, this 700 is positive or negative? Kalau you kira, you guna cara pengiraan ni. So kalau saya kira ni you akan dapat positif 700. So bila positif you refer kat sini. Oh, so it's a positive. So that mean is decrease. That mean this account is decrease. Account goodwill ni adalah decrease. So kalau account goodwill is a asset account. So kalau asset account is decrease, that mean dia adalah di sebelah kredit, betul tak? Okay, so kalau account goodwill is sebelah kredit, that mean the cash is debit. So bila cash debit, that mean the cash is inflow. So that means the 700 is a positive ataupun is a inflow. Boleh tak kelas? Ini okey tak? Siapa yang tak clear lah pasal cash flow ni, siapa yang dah clear tu is okay. Boleh faham kelas? Sorry, ada chat here. Okey kelas, boleh Kelas, is it okay? Okay. So hopefully you bagi respon. Kalau tak okay, kata tak okay. I can explain lagi. Okay, so settle goodwill. Okay. Okay, so kita cari lagi. Apa lagi ada? Okay, so goodwill dah settle. Okay, so now amortization of intangible asset 3 million as charged in. Okay, ni dia dah bagi siap-siap 3 million. So you just tulis saja. Okay, so dia adalah amortization. So that means kita dalam income statement kita minus. So that means bila kita is a non cash item, kita kena campur balik 3 million kan. Okay, so another one is amortize. Okay, so we add so that means dia akan jadi 3 million. Ini tadi dah settle. Okay okay, so ini settle. Okay, and then okay, apa lagi so December 2020 okay, ini kalau mana yang you dah siap tadi you Slash apa nama? Kita panggil apa? Slash lah. Yang mana contoh O tadi kita dah buat kan, so you slash O. Okay, ni pun dah settle slash. Okay. So that's mean you tahu yang you dah settle dah buat. Okay. Okay, and then in December 2020, okay, ni pun ada satu lagi kan, non-cash item. Because of gains tadi, kita dah kira 1 million. Gains of disposal of associate. Kan, so ni terus masuk je kan. Gains on disposal of associate, okay, ataupun you boleh masukkan calculation dia, 4.5 minus 3.5. So you get 1 million. Okay. So this one is gains kan. Bila gains maksudnya dalam income statement kita dah campur. So bila kita ni you have to exclude, so that means you have to minus 1 million. Okay. Kalau loss you kena campur kan. Because dalam income statement kita tolak. Okay. Okay kelas. Okay, settle. Okay, and then dia mention apa lagi? Yeah, this one is okay. Ada lagi tak? Oh. Settle. Okay, ni satu lagi. Okay, ada biological asset ni. Okay. Actually kita dah calculate biological asset punya gains tadi 21 million kan. Kita dah kira kalau you masukkan tadi biological asset tadi 12.4 ni dia increase kan. That means bila kita revalue dia increase to 21 million. Okay. So that means dia is a gain, tapi gain tu is not cash item. So you kena exclude. Okay. So that means you kena tulis sebagai gains for revalue, revalue ataupun kita panggil revalue lah, revalue of asset. Okay. Fair value gains for biological asset. Okay. Okay, so kita minus 21 million. Okay. Because before this kita dah include kan dalam kita punya profit as a gain. So kita dah exclude non-cash item ni. That means you have to exclude lah. So you have to minus 21 million. Okay, ready calculate here. So ni you boleh cancel. Okay. So actually semua yang non-cash item kita dah ambil kira, betul lah. Okay, so dah tak ada lagi. Okay. Okay, so after you finish the non-cash item, okay, now you proceed with the current asset. Okay, current asset and current liability. And then after that, settle for operating. So you can proceed with investing. Boleh faham tak flow dia? Okay, mula-mula you ambil profit before tax. Okay. And then after that, you make an adjustment for non-cash item. Cari semua non-cash item. Okay. So gunakan cara yang saya buat tadi, tanda-tanda and then you cari semua. And then yang mana dah buat, tick. Settle. Okay, last bila semua non-cash item dah settle, okay, baru you fokus pada current asset and current liability. Okay. So normally mula-mula kita fokus pada 3 item dulu. Okay. So for current asset, current liability, mula-mula kita akan fokus on inventory. Because this is operating kan, so kita akan fokus inventory, trade receivable, and then satu lagi trade payable. These 3 item dulu kita fokus. Sebab dalam format tu, these 3 item kita kena show dia punya increase atau decrease. Okay. So itu dalam our format. Dia boleh refer balik ke format. So that means these 3 item you have to show dia punya increase atau decrease. So kita buat ni dulu. Okay. And then after that baru kita tengok yang lain pula. Okay. We focus on these 3 item dulu. Okay. Boleh kan? Okay. So kita tengok kita start with inventory. Okay. So you masuk je sini. Okay, kat sini you dah nampak dia increase ke tak, increase or not, betul tak? Kalau you tengok this one kan, beginning balance 13.8, 13.8. So ending is 15.1. That means it's an increase. Kan, dia boleh nampak increase. Ataupun kalau you nak confirmkan lagi, you tengok dalam sini kita akan ada satu adjustment inventory kan. So inventory ni kalau kita minus pun baru 2.8. Kan, so that means our inventory ni still increase. So that means tak ada masalah lah. That means in this case is increase. So you boleh terus write increase inventory. Okay. Ataupun kalau you tak nak write dulu pun tak apa. You tak confident is increase or decrease. So you calculate. Kita calculate. Okay. So calculate kita start dengan buat yang cara yang saya kata tu. Okay. Kita start dengan ini sangat kecilkan dia punya side tu. Okay. So that means kita start dengan apa? Beginning 13,800 Okay, minus with 13. Okay, minus with 15.1. Okay, minus 15.1. Okay. And then apa lagi? So kita ada satu inventory sini kan. So you boleh write sini inventory. So this one is disposed. That means you have to minus. So minus. Sorry, kenapa saya punya ni tak boleh ke? Okay, so minus berapa tadi? 2.8. Okay, 2.8. And then make bracket. So cuba calculate 13,800 minus 15,100 minus 2,800. So you akan dapat negatif kan? Negatif 4,100 ataupun 4.1 million ni is a negative. Okay. So kalau negatif, so you tengok kat sini. Is a negative. Okay. And so is a negative. Okay. So bila you tengok, okay, negative mean increase. So that means this inventory account is increase. So you boleh write increase. So dari saya tengok tadi saya dah sure lah increase kan. Sebab dia punya amount tu kan. So boleh kata, so you can say increase in inventory. So you have to use word increase. Okay. Semula you masukkan figure dia. Okay. And then when you dapat result, tengok negatif. Kalau negatif, refer balik kat kita punya notes ni, negative increase. So that means this account is increase. So increase in inventory. Okay. So kalau inventory is increase, that means inventory is debit side. Kan? So apa yang credit side? Kita punya cash. So that means our cash is outflow. So this 4,100 is outflow. So you make a bracket outflow. Boleh tak kelas? Okay ya. Okay. So sekarang ni kita tengok pula seterusnya. Okay. So already done the inventory. So now we do the trade receivable. Okay. So kalau kat sini pun you boleh nampak kan. 92.74 kan. Lepas tu lepas ni kita tolak. Tolak berapa? Tolak dia dalam 7,000. So that means we can say this one is an increase also. Kan? Sebab dia punya ending tu lebih banyak. Kan? Bila beginning tolak ending, so dapat negatif, mean increase kan. So you boleh terus write increase in. Kalau nak cepat lah, increase in receivable. Okay. Tak apalah, kalau you salah pun, you just padam je lah kan. Kalau contoh lah, you buat sini increase, bila you calculate, actually it's not increase, decrease. Kan, kadang beza. So you just ambil liquid paper, you just padam je lah. Increase ni you tukar pada, in ni tukar pada D je lah kan. DE ya, tambah DE saja. IN ni padam, tukar DE. Kan, it's okay. Kan? So kita nak cepat nanya kan. So you tulis, okay, and then so you just write increase in trade receivable. Okay, and then you use your pencil, bracket. Okay, so you masukkan dia punya calculation dia. Okay. Saya buat sini lah calculation dia. So dia punya calculation, kita start dengan berapa tadi? 62.9 62,900 and then minus dengan berapa? 74,800. Okay. And then kita ada dispose kan, receivable. Okay, so we have a receivable here 7.9. Okay, so itu di sini 7.9 minus ya. Okay, so you tutup. Tak ada lagi lah. Okay, tekan ni dulu. Okay, so you cuba calculate 62,900 minus 74,800 minus 7,900. So dapat negatif 19.8. Okay, so it's a negative kan. So bila negative, that means it's increase lah. So betul lah, increase in trade receivable. Okay, so increase, so bila account receivable, it's an asset account where increase is for debit. So that means the cash will be credit side. So that means the cash is outflow. Okay, so you buat 19.8 is a bracket. It's an outflow. Boleh ya? Okay, so settle kita punya receivable. Okay. So now kita pergi pada payable. Okay. So payable ada dua item ni. Okay, 5,000 dengan 4,000. Okay. So kat sini you tengok apa? Dia 5,000 kan? So dia decrease. Okay, so kita tengok dia decrease. And then kalau you tengok dekat trade payable, so dia akan apa? So that means dalam this case dia akan macam mana? Kalau tengok sini. Boleh nampak? Kan dia kalau you tengok sini dia decrease kan? 5 beginning tolak ni you akan dapat dia decrease. Okay. And then dia decrease tapi kat sini dia minus lagi. So that means you akan dapat apa? Negatif kan? Atau means dia negatif means dia increase lah. Okay. Dalam case ni dia increase lah. Okay. Okay, so you cuba kira. Ataupun you tulis siap-siap increase interest payable. Okay. Then you cuba calculate. Okay, kita tengok mana tadi. Sorry, salah. Mana saya tengok ni? This one okay, so jawapan dia increase ke decrease? Sorry, this one is increase Sorry, sekejap. 16. Okay, 16. So dia decrease. Okay, and then so kita minus lagi 9,000. So it become negative lah. Okay, so betul lah. Betul lah, it's correct lah. It's increase. Okay. Okay, so date. Okay. So 16. 300 minus with color kan 12.4. Ini 12.8. And then minus dengan 9.5. Okay, cuba you kira 16, 300, 12, 800, 9, 500. So you akan dapat 600. So 600 is a negative. So that's mean bila negative, so it's increase lah. So that's mean betul lah kita buat sini increase. Okay. Okay, kalau you tak sure, you calculate dulu. Calculate dulu dapatkan whether it's negative atau positif. Kalau negative mean increase lah. Okay. Kalau you boleh congak daripada ni, you contohnya macam sini lah. Kalau you calculate kan, kalau you nak congak tu, you boleh nampak kita start dengan, we start with the 16. Memang kalau you tengok sini dia decrease kan. Tapi bila kita minus lagi 9,000, so dia akan jadi negatif lah. So sebenarnya actually dia ataupun kalau because this one boleh, kalau you nak ni 12.8 ni you campur dengan 9.5 lah. Okay. And then minus dengan ni kan. So that means it's more actually it's an increase lah. Okay. So that's why kita dapat negative. Okay. So negative mean increase. Okay. Boleh kan? Okay ke kelas? Boleh kan? Kalau you tengok kat sini memang you nampak macam positif kan. Positif mungkin you can say oh this a decrease. Tapi kita You tak ambil kira lagi yang bawah ni. Okay. So kalau you punya, you boleh congak dekat kepala tu, so you boleh tulis lah. Kalau tak ada, ataupun you just write dulu, kan, increase ke decrease, after that you repair balik, betulkan balik. Okay. Ataupun you kira dulu. Okay, it's up to you lah. Mana yang lebih cepat lah for you. Okay. So don't worry. Sebab ada yang boleh tengok aja boleh tahu kan. Macam saya tengok ni tadi saya dah nampak dah. So this one is increase kan. Sebab kita ada tadi 9 dengan, sometimes you boleh congak kan, 9 is more. Kalau sini tadi sikit kan. So you boleh agak. Sometimes kalau tak boleh tu better you calculate. Okay. Okay, so you get, so kita dapat negatif. So means okay. This one okay. Kalau dalam this case we get negative. So this one is account payable. Jangan confuse. Okay, when you get negative, that means it's increase. That means this account payable is increase. Okay. Tapi account payable is a liability. Kalau dia increase, dia berada di credit side. Dia bukan di debit side macam inventory dan receivable dengan receivable. Dia kalau increase berada di debit side, tapi payable dia increase, dia berada di credit side. Bila dia di credit side, that means cash is debit side. Ataupun we call it cash ini adalah inflow. So that's why 6 million ni dia adalah inflow. Dia bukannya outflow. Okay. Kalau you tengok di sini dia walaupun dia sama increase, tapi this one kita minus. So inventory ni adalah asset, bila increase dia di debit side. Cash akan berada di credit side. Tapi payable dia adalah liability. Increase dia berada di credit side. So that means cash akan berada di debit side. So cash akan jadi inflow. Boleh kelas? Kelas, is it okay? Okay, kalau ikut format, after you dah buat 3 item ni, so you terus boleh total and then you get cash generate from operation. Okay, cash yang kita generate from operation. Okay, after that baru you tengok yang balance. Okay, so kita dah buat tadi trade payable, inventory, trade receivable. So sekarang kita tengok yang balance. Yang balance tinggal biological asset tadi. Yang kita tak buat lagi, cuma kita kira non-cash item aja. Okay. And then we also didn't do the interest payable and tax payable. Untuk current asset. Cash tak perlu lah. Cash kita akan buat kat bawah nanti. Okay, so cash ni tak perlu. Okay, so biological asset, kalau you ingat tadi kita buat, dia tak ada item lain. That means dia increase. This increase because of the kita revalue dia. Revalue the asset. Kan, biological asset. So that means dia increase. Kan, maksudnya dia increase tadi. Kalau you ambil figure balik tadi, mana biological asset tadi? Okay, 21 million kan. So dia increase 21 million. So kalau you ambil mana tadi? Okay, 12.4 ni kalau you plus dengan 21 million, so dia akan dapat 33.4 ataupun you buat calculation. Okay, kalau you nak lagi apa? Ada yang tak faham. Okay. Example you boleh tulis ni. Okay. Kalau kita ambil bracket, okay, 12.4 okay, minus with 33.4. Okay. So this one tadi kita dia adalah revalue kan. Maksudnya nilai dia bertambah. That's mean bila nilai bertambah kita kena increase lah. So kita kena tambah. So tambah another 21 million. Okay, because of this 21 million ni yang kita dah kira tadi kan. Okay, 21 million. Okay. So kalau you kira ni total ni, kalau dia jadi kosong, zero. So that mean no need to do the cash flow punya. That mean tak ada inflow, tak ada outflow. Kan? Contoh kalau you masukkan figure ni 12.4 ni 12.4 minus 33 12.4 minus 33.4 and then plus 21. So akan dapat kosong, zero. So that mean settle. Tak perlu buat apa-apa lagi. Okay, so that mean kita boleh kata yang ini kita tak perlu buat lagi lah. Settle. Okay. So there's this the current asset dah settle. So just focus on interest payable dengan tax payable. Okay. Boleh kelas? Okay, for interest payable. Okay, kalau you tengok sini kan, dia punya kita ada interest payable. Kita ada finance cost kan. Kan, finance cost kita adalah 4 million. Okay. So apa lagi item berkaitan dengan finance cost ni. Kalau ikut dalam additional information tadi kita tak jumpa pun finance cost. That's mean ada satu item saja finance cost ni. Okay, 4 million. Okay, so you cuba calculate 4 million ni. Okay, mana tadi? Okay, interest payable ni kan. Okay, so that's mean our interest payable tadi kita ada start dengan 5 million, beginning ni adalah 5 million. Okay, and then minus with the ending 4 million. Okay, and then okay, this one finance cost ni kita nak campur ke nak tolak? Kelas saya tanya you, finance cost ni kalau you guna cara saya ni kita nak campur ke nak tolak? Kat sini nak campur ke nak tolak? Ada answer tak? Ada nak jawab? Ada campur. Okay, so maksud faham so you kena campur so campur, this one you have to plus okay. Okay. So you kena campur 4 million. Okay, so you dapat berapa? 5,000 minus 4 million plus 4 million. So you can dapat 5 million. Okay, so you dapat 5 million is a positive. Okay, sorry ni patut saya tulis kat sini finance cost ni. Okay, you type sebenarnya, okay, you tulis you tulis finance cost paid. Okay, kat sini you guna perkataan finance cost because this one kita nak nak exclude the cash item kan. Okay, kita dah exclude cash item ni. Okay, so this one you have to use finance cost paid. Okay, so calculation dia macam tadi lah ni. Boleh pindah tak calculation ni? Pindah tak boleh tak boleh pindah. Okay, kita tulis balik, sorry. Saya patut tulis kat sini Okay, sepatutnya you akan ambil 5 million. Okay, and then kita minus with 4 million. And then kita plus with another 4 million. Okay, okay, so result dia you akan dapat 5 million positive. Okay, so bila positive, that mean is decrease. Okay, so that mean our interest payable ni is decrease. Okay, so kalau kita punya interest kita dapat tadi positif sorry. So kita dapat positif, so that means kita punya interest payable ni is decrease. Okay, so interest payable bila dia decrease, dia di sebelah mana? Interest payable ni is a liability. Kalau liability decrease, that means is a debit side. Okay, so bila dia debit side, that means cash is credit side. So when cash is credit side, that means cash is outflow. Okay, that's why kita outflow 5 million. That's why kita say finance cost paid 5 million. Okay. Clear class? Okay okay, and then next kita tengok tax pula Okay, so ini dah settle Okay, this one settle. Okay, so now we look at the tax payable. Okay, so tax payable setakat ni kita ada maklumat bawah ni tak ada the tax jadi tak ada cerita pasal tax. Okay, so we only have a tax beginning ending, and then another one jangan lupa kita ada tax kat sini. Okay, so you kena masukkan tax ni. Okay, so that's mean you punya calculation tax paid. Okay, our tax paid in cash ataupun tax paid ni. Okay, so kita akan buat calculation dia. So kita akan start dengan beginning. Okay, beginning for tax is 19 19,620 okay, minus dengan 32,600 okay. Okay, and then tax ni kita nak apa? Campur ke tolak? Kena campur sama macam payable, sama macam finance tadi finance payable tu, interest payable tu so you kena campur plus 16,775. So now you calculate berapa? Dapat positif ke negatif? 19,620 minus 32,600 plus 16,775. So you akan dapat positif 3.795. Okay, so positif so that mean kalau positif mean positive mean decrease. So that mean our tax punya account, our account tax payable punya account dia decrease. So tax payable ni adalah liability. So liability decrease, dia akan berada di debit side. So that mean our cash will be in credit side. Okay. So kalau our cash in credit side, that means it's a outflow. So this 3.795 ni kita kena, dia adalah outflow. So you have to minus ataupun you have to do kena buat bracket. Okay, boleh So then kalau you tengok sini, you already done all the current liability and current asset. So that means our operating activities already done. So you just total semua. So you dapat net cash generate from operation 15.28 million. Okay, boleh tak kelas? Is it okay? Okay. So dalam your exam pun dia lebih kurang tak ada banyak beza cuma maybe dia punya dispose ni jadi acquire dia terbalik macam tu. Macam your midterm tiba-tiba kita tukar ada dia terbalik tapi normally dia punya konsep sama. Okay. So tak banyak beza sebenarnya. Okay. Actually the different you punya speed tu lah yang penting. Okay. So you kena manage you have to use you kena fikir macam mana cara nak cepat buat. Okay. So ni I give you a example lah. Okay. So mungkin you boleh cutkan lagi macam mana lagi cepat lagi boleh buat. Okay. For those yang dah okay tak apa, just proceed you punya cara. Okay. Ni for those yang masih lagi tak clear tak apa faham ataupun masih lagi ragu-ragu nak pilih cara mana so you boleh decide sekarang, kena decide. Okay, for cash flow. We have 20 marks. This one is maybe your second question. First question is chapter tutorial 3. So tutorial 4 will be your second question. Okay, your final. Okay, so now kita proceed pula dengan so kita running of time Okay, so now we already done the current asset and current liability. Okay, so now we do the current asset. Okay, kita buat current asset. Okay, so current asset, okay, actually kita start dengan property, plant, equipment ni. Okay, so kalau you tengok kat sini ada increase yang banyak sebenarnya. That means kita ada purchase of equipment sebenarnya, kan? Okay, so you boleh buat kita boleh kata kita boleh buat kat sini bila nampak sini you dah boleh agak satu. Kita ada purchase of PPE ataupun dalam jawapan ni digunakan kata additional of PPE. Okay, you boleh tulis additional of PPE. Okay, so that's mean you boleh start calculate lah kat sini kan. Okay, additional of PPE. So you boleh start calculate. So kita start dengan beginning 50,250. Okay, and then we minus with the ending 77,500. Okay. Okay, and then sini this one we do. Okay. So kita cari lagi apa item. Actually you boleh fokus pada investment lah kan. Sebab ni investment punya activities. So kita tengok dekat I ni, okay, this one is depreciation, is about PPE kan. Okay, so kalau depreciation dia akan mengurangkan. So that's mean you have to minus. Okay, so you have to minus. So you have to minus 9,500. Okay, settle. Okay, lagi apa? Okay, this one is because of, okay, right of use tak ada kaitan. Okay, this one is for goodwill. Okay, this one is for intangible asset. Okay, tak ada. This one is for apa? Apa? Associate company. Okay, this one is for also the associate company also. Okay, kat sini kita ada apa? Okay, this one ada property. Kan? Okay, sini kita dispose. That means you kena minus juga. Kalau dispose mean you have to minus. Okay, so you have to minus. So you kena minus apa tadi? 12, 1. Okay. So you boleh colorkan ni, dah settle. Okay. So ada lagi tak? So dia kata tak ada disposal of PPE. Okay, that mean done already kan? Okay. So you boleh tutup bracket lah. Okay. So kita calculate berapa? 50,250 tolak 77,500 tolak 9,500. Sorry. 50,250 tolak 77,500 tolak 9,500 12,100. So akan dapat negatif 48,850. Okay. So dia adalah negatif. So kalau negatif mean increase. So kalau asset tu PPE increase, that mean kita debit. Kan? Kalau asset tu PPE debit mean cash akan credit. So that mean bila cash credit, cash is outflow. So outflow 48,850. Okay. So that's why you have to bracket ataupun you kena minus lah, ataupun dia adalah outflow. Okay. Boleh kan kelas? So settle kita punya PPE. Okay, now kita buat pula right of use asset. Okay. Okay, so right of use pun you nampak dia macam ada apa? Ada increase kan? Dia asal 9,000, so sekarang jadi 11. Maksud ada increase. That means ada additional ataupun ada purchase of right of use asset. Okay. So you boleh tulis kat sini siap. Ini dia guna perkataan additional lah. Okay, tadi kita dah settle. Sorry, tadi PPE. Okay. So they're using word additional. So you can use additional ataupun you can use purchase. Okay. Okay, so kita akan start dengan we will start with okay. So kita start dengan 9,500. Okay, 500. So minus with 11,000. Okay, 11,000. Okay. So kita dulu. Okay, so kita cari right of use. Okay, yang mana yang you dah buat tadi you boleh slash lah. Example ni kita dah buat kan slash. So kita ada right of use tadi depreciation 1 million. Okay, so kalau depreciation dia akan mengurangkan. So that means you have to slash. Sorry saya punya. Okay. So you less 1 million. Okay. Okay, lagi apa? So okay, ni dah boleh settle lah kan? Dah settle. Okay. Okay, and then okay, kita ada in-payment kan? So in-payment means apa? In-payment ni dia adalah rosot nilai kan? In-payment, that means dia punya nilai tu akan reduce. So we have to minus. Okay. Ni kalau you using my technique lah, you kena minus. Tapi kalau you using another technique yang kata ending tolak beginning, so you kena campur. Right? So you kena reverse. Reverse daripada apa yang saya buat. Okay. So minus another 500. Okay. So and then you tengok ada lagi tak? Ini berkaitan dengan amortization, this one, okay, the association, lain-lain tak ada. Okay, right of use dalam ni tak ada kan? Okay, dalam ni tak ada. Okay, so maksudnya settle lah. So just tutup bracket. So then you calculate 9,500 minus 11,000 minus 1,000 minus 500. So you akan dapat negatif 3 million, 3,000. Okay, 3 million. So kalau negatif mean apa? Increase. So bila kita punya asset increase, that means our asset is debit side. Okay, that means bila asset debit side, cash akan berada di credit side. So kalau cash credit side is a outflow. Okay, so that's why kita kena minus outflow. Okay, boleh kan kelas? Is it okay? Okay, so you settle kita punya ini tadi. Okay, right of use. Okay. Okay, and then kita tengok pula others investment. Okay, so others investment, so kalau kita tengok kat sini ada investment ni dia increase. Okay, so that's mean kita mesti ada apa acquire ada investment. Okay, ataupun kita purchase ada investment. You boleh guna acquire, boleh ada purchase, boleh, it's okay. Mana-mana boleh. Okay, kalau jawapan ni dia guna additional, so pun okay. Okay, additional to others investment. Okay, benda yang sama je. So you akan buat, kita akan start dengan so the best way you start dengan ending, beginning tolak ending tu kan. So you terus dapat marks lah. Kan? So that means 5 million. Okay, and then minus with ending 5 minus 12. Okay. Okay, and then you cari. Ada tak berkaitan dengan investment? Ada investment, and this one is associate kan? Yang ini pun adalah this one dia kata acquire, 30 investment in DF. Ini pun masuk dalam under this one also 30% lah, that means dia adalah associate. Okay, so lagi apa? Investment. Ada lagi tak? Investment 5 minus dengan 12. Tapi jawapan ni dia, apa ni salah ke apa? Kira 3,000. This one is amortization. This one is associate kan? Mana 3,000 ni? Saya tak nampak. First page is 3,000. 3 million lah. Dekat profit and loss lah. Oh, okay. Ni kita lupa ni net changes in fair value of equipment investment. So that means kita ada net changes fair value. That means dia increase 3 million. So that means kita kena campur 3 million. Okay. So sorry ni saya tak perasan. So ada 3 million ni. Okay. So kita hati-hati Ni kalau tadi saya dah tutup kurungan lah. Okay. So that means you kena hati-hati Ataupun maybe bila you baca you kena make star lah, buat star ke highlight ke something. Okay. Okay, maybe kita akan tak perasan ni 3 million. Okay. Okay, so bagus kawan you highlight tadi 3 million. Okay. So that's mean you have to dia increase kan, because this one is a net change, so that's mean dia increase, so you have to campur lah. Kalau teknik saya you campur kalau guna ending tu you kena tolak. Okay, 3 million. Okay, so you calculate 5 minus 12 plus 3. So that's mean kita akan dapat negative 4 million. So kalau negative means increase. Okay. So negative mean increase, that mean our additional ni dia increase. So dia ada asset account, so increase the debit side. Okay, bila debit side, cash kita akan credit side ataupun is a outflow. Okay, so that's why you have to bracket 4 million. Okay. Okay, plus, okay Okay, this one kena jaga 3 million ni saya tak perasan dia. Okay, so dah settle kita punya investment. Okay. So now our intangible asset. Okay. So our intangible asset, kat sini kalau you tengok dia decrease intangible asset. Okay. So that's mean kita boleh kata kita ada, bila decrease ni that's mean kita ada sales lah, ataupun we call it jualan ni. Kalau dalam cash flow selalu kita guna perkataan proceed. So you boleh masukkan perkataan proceed. Okay, so kita akan start dengan okay, record. Okay, so kita akan start dengan intangible 3, 6. Okay, and then kita minus with the 200. Okay, 200. Okay, so kita cari lagi intangible. Tadi kita ada intangible tadi kan satu. Intangible, amortize, intangible. So bila amortize ni akan berkurang. So that means you have to minus 3 million. Okay, then you tutup bracket. Okay, so yang itu je lah kan. Tak ada lagi yang intangible. Okay, so 3.6 minus 200 minus 3 million. Okay, so you get 400. 400 is positive. Okay, so that means kita punya intangible asset adalah account asset. Bila dia positif, maksudnya apa? Kalau positif is mean decrease. So kalau decrease mean dia account asset ni berada di credit side. So mean our cash will be at the debit side. So that means bila cash debit is a inflow. So kita punya 400 tadi adalah inflow. Okay, so that means our 400 ni adalah inflow. Okay, that's why dia positif. Okay. So boleh Okay, kita running of time. Tak apa, yang ini nanti investment ni you cuba buat dua. Okay, saya nak tunjukkan you satu lagi ada yang tanya saya sebelum ni pasal apa, ini nanti you go through sendiri kita running of time. Sorry, takut ada kelas lain lepas ni. Okay, satu lagi yang okay, this one. Ini yang dua lagi ni you tengok nanti joint venture dengan investment ni buat benda yang sama macam saya ajar you. Okay, and then for this one, okay, payment of dividend. Okay, payment of dividend ni kita akan dapat melalui return profit, return earning. Okay, so bila you buat nanti, bila you nak buat untuk financing, so you akan fokus pada equity, kan? Equity, share capital, return earning, fair value reserve, NCI, and long term. Ini 4 perkara. Okay, capital ni tak perlu sebab dia 80-80, so kosong. Mana kosong tak perlu buat. Okay, return earning, so you kena ambil 20 minus dengan 55 and then campurkan dengan profit. Okay, profit you have to use this profit. You kena ambil profit yang ini. This one. 9 pula apa? 3840 ni. Okay. So you kena ambil ini. This one is the profit yang kita pindah kepada return earning. Bukan this one. Okay. Profit yang kita pindah pada return earning adalah daripada jumlah profit after tax tu. Okay, and then kita divide kepada NCI dan kita parent. So you have to use this, not this. Okay. So bila you campurkan this, tolak dengan yang tadi tu, so you akan dapat payment of dividend. So payment of dividend daripada calculation of return earning tadi. So 20 minus 55 plus dengan 38 and 38.4. Okay, kalau guna cara saya lah, so you akan dapat jumlah ni. Okay, and then satu lagi NCI yang lain tu samalah. Okay, for NCI, okay, so NCI ni dia agak kompleks sikit. Okay, sebab dia ada so that means for NCI, so benda yang sama you buat. Okay, you boleh kalau you tengok kat sini dia guna proceed from decrease stake in subsidiaries. Okay, kalau you nak play safe, nak selamat, you guna movement aja. You using the word movement in NCI. Betul. Tak kira whether is positive ataupun whether is inflow ataupun outflow. Kalau dia outflow, that means dia kalau dia inflow, kalau dia outflow is dividend paid. Kalau dia inflow dividend paid, dia receive dividend. Kalau outflow proceed of kalau dia inflow proceed of decrease. Okay, kalau dia outflow is dividend. Okay, tapi untuk mudahkan you guna perkataan movement and just write movement in NCI. Okay, using the word movement. Okay, so kat sini you guna perkataan movement in NCI. Okay, movement in NCI. So whether it's positive, negative, tak apa. Inflow atau outflow is okay. Okay. So you akan start dengan 23 minus dengan 30. Okay. And then you have to include this. Okay. You kena ambil yang ini, bukan yang bawah ni, 9,600 ni. Okay. Plus dengan 9,000 tadi, 9,600. And then dan jangan lupa minus this one. This one is dispose kan. Bila dispose, you have to minus. Minus NCI, kita dah kira tadi 9,000. Okay. So boleh nampak tak? Maksudnya you akan start dengan sorry ya, kelas lambat lah. Okay, start with 23. Okay, 23. Okay, minus with 30. Okay, and then apa lagi? Okay, plus dengan 9,600. Okay, and then minus dengan last kali is 9,000 kan? Kita dah kira tadi 9,000. Okay. Okay, so kalau you kira 23 minus 30 plus 9.6 minus 9. So you akan dapat 6.4, dia negative side. Okay, so bila negative, that means dia adalah increase. So that means NCI is increase. NCI increase is credit side. So that means our cash is debit side. That means our cash is inflow. 6,000, 6.4 million. Okay. Clear, class? Is it okay? Okay, class? Is it okay? Okay, satu lagi, last, satu lagi, sorry. Okay, tadi kita dah kira yang ini tadi kita tak buat disposal kan, disposal. Okay, satu lagi, disposal of subsidiaries ni. Okay, ini okay, disposal of subsidiaries. Kalau you tengok jawapan ni, dibuat macam ni kan, panjang kan. Okay, actually kita dah kira tadi disposal of subsidiaries ni, kita dapat dah 22.6. Kita ambil this cash item, cash consideration, tolak dengan bank ataupun cash yang ada dalam company, dalam kita punya subsidiaries. Because dia dispose, kita tolak lah. Okay. So kita dapat 22.6. Kalau you tengok dia kira panjang kan sampai 20. So actually this calculation ni, okay, this calculation ni you tak perlu buat ah. Jangan buat this calculation. You just proceed dengan calculation 26.8 minus 4.2 dapat 22.6. Itu saja. Okay. So jangan buang masa you buat macam ni. Sini tak perlu pakai. Okay. Okay dah kelas? Boleh ya? Any question tak? Sorry ya kelas, dah lebih 3 minit dah. Any question? Ada soalan okay. Okay, for attendance saya tengok semua datang. Okay, so never mind, for those yang tak scan tu saya akan add nanti. Okay. Okay, kalau tak ada soalan, sorry kelas terlebih masa. Okay, thank you, so you can dismiss. Okay. Anything boleh tanya saya, boleh WhatsApp saya ke? Tak faham. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you,
sama-sama.
Doctor.
Sama-sama. Okay, sama.